So number one is the people make the places. Let me tell you how that links to solo travel. Sure, this is beautiful. It encapsulates the country, the art. It's iconic. But when I sit back and reflect on my travels, it's never these beautiful landmarks that stick out, but it's my interactions with the local people. Meeting new people from different backgrounds, a different view on life, a different way of living fascinates me above all. I want to experience and understand how other people live. What can you learn from that? It just gives you a whole different perspective, and I absolutely love doing this. When you're with your friends, you don't make this effort of trying to meet new people, and especially the locals. I feel like to get an authentic experience of the city, you need to go where the locals go. You need to sit with the locals. You need to speak with the locals. Whereas if you're with a friend, what usually happens is you go on Google, you search for the best rated restaurants, and you head there. You don't meet and make this effort of meeting local people and experiencing the city through the eyes of a local. I do this by pipelining on Tinder and on online dating sites, and for me this works wonderfully because it works in two folds for me. One, I get to meet girls I'm attracted to. I get to spend time with a beautiful girl, and that's always a plus. And second, I get to explore the city with a local. So I'm able to interact and get to know a local. Now, I don't use these girls as a tour guide or anything like this. Usually I love street food, so I just ask, do you know a good place to get street food? And of course they do. It's their city, they know where to go. So I get to go there, and when I sit and I look around, it's just local people. And of course I can't speak the language, but everybody speaks English. And you get some really amazing interactions. And yeah, if you hit it off with the girl, she's more than willing to show you around and spend more time with you. And this doesn't just work for women as well, you know. I've met a lot of like-minded friends, guy friends who do the same thing, where they're traveling solo and want to experience the city from a different perspective rather than that tourist perspective. A good buddy of mine who I went on my Bali trip with on a motorcycle, I first met him in Thailand, and since then we've become really good buddies. Number two, improved self-belief. So the sum of my life in the UK would be summed up with one word, and that word is monotone. There really are no ups and downs. It's a very stable, even more so now in lockdown. It's really difficult to grow when there are no ups and downs. Because how do you deal with being calmer in stressful situations or practicing positivity when shit never hits the fan? Solo travel throws that out of the window and throws in a rainbow of different scenarios. In short, it pushes you outside of your comfort zone. You won't have a choice. You'll be pushed into difficult situations that are way outside of your comfort zone, and it's going to ask you, how do you deal with those? You don't have an option. You'll be pushed into it. You'll face loneliness, isolation, insecurities, and it's going to ask you, how do you deal with all of those? I actually just recently made a video which you can watch here, which I actually just shared a personal story of how I dealt with one of these insecurities that popped up while I was solo traveling. You know, you'll be scared to do something that you've never done before. That may just be going out to a nightclub on your own, or forcing yourself to go cliff jumping, or just even meeting someone from online, or heck, your credit card could stop working and you're left with no money. It's going to ask you, how do you deal with that? Dealing with all of these stressful situations will instill a sense of self-belief in you, because when these situations happens and you overcome them, you'll understand that you can do it, that you don't need anybody else to rely on, that you yourself, just yourself, are capable of dealing anything that life throws at you. And this really does instill a sense of belief. You respect yourself more because you've been through these situations and you come on the other side, and you're grown stronger by them. So you'll gain a lot of self-respect for yourself and self-belief, and of course that leads to increased confidence. Number three is focusing on what you want to achieve from your trip. Usually people go on holiday just to unwind, relax, and not really get anything done, and of course I do that too also, but I like to combine my trips with something practical. Right now I'm really trying to get into filming. On my most recent trip to Bali, I went with a good buddy of mine and I had an amazing time. And of course, I'm going to go on way more motorcycle trips with him, well, I plan to. But as I'm trying to get better at filmmaking, I really wanted to stop off and take my time and get some shots, etc. And that meant maybe staying somewhere a bit longer than we should have or is reasonable, let's say. So me and my friend clashed many times. Like, I wanted to stop off while he just wanted to keep riding. I tried to convince him to go one way, he tried to convince me to go to another way, and to be honest, it really got quite annoying. I really don't want to have to argue and fight with someone over something I was trying to achieve. And I feel like when you get to solo travel, you don't have someone, you don't need to answer to someone. You can do what you want when you want. I feel like when you're on your own, you get stuff done. If you have a goal, whatever that may be, maybe you want to stay at the beach for the sunset for an extra hour and get that on tape. You can do that. You don't have to answer to someone else. You don't have to keep telling someone else, okay, just 5 more minutes or 10 more minutes, you know. You don't have to try to convince someone else and waste all of this energy. And also, it's annoying and it puts you in a bit of a bad mood. So when you solo travel alone, if you have a certain goal or something you want to achieve, it allows you to focus 100% fully on that without any distractions. The fourth point is that why you should solo travel is because no one else wants to go with you. Before I used to think, when I was younger, I used to think, why do I not travel so much? In England, we used to have these long bank holiday weekends where you had like a 4-day weekend. And I always used to think, this is perfect. You should go out and travel somewhere, go to a different place for a city break. But every time I approached this idea to friends, etc., either they weren't interested in the place or their schedules didn't meet up. And then I just used to drop it and play video games for the whole weekend. But eventually, because of this, I was actually forced just to go by myself. And in hindsight, it was a great decision and it worked out wonderfully. And my first solo trip was to Madrid. So one reason to solo travel is because no one else wants to go with you, and don't let that hinder you. If you want to go explore a city or, you know, have a city break, just go do it. I know it's quite scary the first time, but really sometimes you don't have an option and you just have to do it on your own. If you want to achieve something, you have to sometimes go it alone and do it on your own. The fifth point is more of a philosophical point, and that is the essence of freedom. In the book, The Unbearable Lightness of Being, there is a quote that just sums it up perfectly. And let me read it out to you. Conversely, the absolute absence of burden causes man to be lighter than air, to soar into heights, to take leave of the earth and his earthly beings, and become only half real. His movements as free as they are insignificant. That's what it feels like to me when I solo travel. I'm insignificant. That's what it feels like when I solo travel, that I'm insignificant, that I have no burdens, no responsibilities. I'm not going to hurt anybody. No one's relying on me for anything. My actions have no cause and no effect. It's a very strange feeling to have this complete... It's so hard to explain for me what this feeling is, and I feel like you really need to experience it, because when you touch down in another country, no one knows you, and you're on your own, and you have no burdens, no responsibilities. No one is relying on you for anything. You feel really, really light. As the book is titled, The Unbearable Lightness of Being, being light for too long is unbearable. Eventually you need something to weigh you down. May that be friends, family, or just somewhere to call home. I don't think I could travel solo for like years on end. I think it would be too much, and yeah, it would be unbearable, as the book is titled. But I really feel like this essence of freedom, everybody should experience at least once in their lifetime. So those are my 5 reasons for solo traveling. Those are my unique and personal to me. Please share down in the comments what are some of your reasons why you love to solo travel.